Hello everyone and welcome to another Iceberg series. You may be wondering what happened to the Disturbing Games Iceberg, and don't worry, I'm still working on that series. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging for over a week on the final episode without any videos, so I decided to pre-record a video and let it post while I'm on vacation. I originally planned for this series to be released after the Disturbing Games series, but I decided to start it early. In this series, we'll be looking over the ultimate conspiracy theory iceberg. Conspiracies are caught in a weird area where most logical people would never believe in them, but yet some are so interesting that they can't help but look into them. Before we begin, I just want to state that I do not believe in any of these theories, nor do I think many of you should. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. As well, if you have any feedback for me, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. And with that, let's begin. Tier 1 consists of many tame conspiracy theories, many of which being very well known. These conspiracies have been created by many people and many are very popular to believe in, despite how unreal they sound. Starting off with my favorite conspiracy on the list, I love this theory because as I live in Colorado, I have been to the Denver International Airport multiple times, and let me tell you all, this theory is incredibly interesting. There are many different theories that go into this, and each of them are very interesting. The first theory is the demonic horse, the Blue Mustang, or as the locals call him, Lucifer. Lucifer is a sculpture of a Mustang located at an intersection in front of the airport. The horse has red eyes that illuminate at night. It's well known for having killed its creator Luis Jimenez when the head of Lucifer fell on him and severed an artery in his leg. The statue is believed to be haunted in some way, or even satanic. A dedicated plaque at the south entrance of the airport, dated March 19th, 1944, contains a time capsule and bears the symbol for the Freemasons. Freemasonry is the teaching and practices of the secret fraternal order of free and accepted Masons, the largest worldwide secret society. The plaque also contains a reference to the New World Airport Commission. Along with that, strange markings have also been noted around the airport, supposedly indicating secret or alien languages. Many people believe that the Freemasons have controlled the airport ever since it opened. They believe that they have ties to the New World Order, a theory we will soon get into. Another theory states that underground there are electromagnetic tests being performed underneath the airport. Evidence of this comes from 2007, when 20 front and side windshields all were reported to have cracked on at least 14 planes. Many people believe that these cracks are connected to some sort of electromagnetic testing underground. However, wind gusts were reported to have reached over 48 miles per hour that day. Another theory states that there are hidden underground bunkers underneath the airport, believed to hold Nazis who have been hiding since the end of the Second World War. Many people point to the fact that during construction of the airport, there were 5 buildings that were completely built, yet buried underground due to them not being built correctly. Many people believe that these buildings were meant to conceal Nazis. Along with this, many point to the runways being shaped as a swastika. Many of the murals are also the subject of theories. Many believe that the murals are showing predictions. The first mural shows what is to be believed to be the Germans taking over again. The mural shows a German man in a gas mask with a rifle in his left hand and a cutlass in his right. He's standing over destroyed buildings, pointing his blade at what looks to be children, clearly in a miserable state, as they sleep on bricks. Many people in the background of the mural also look to be in distress. Another mural shows a Boy Scout, clearly representing America, handing his weapon over to a German soldier. Finally, the final theory is that the airport symbolizes death. There are 2 main details that aid in this theory. The first detail is the abundance of gargoyle statues around the airport, much more than any other airport. The second is the presence of the statue of Anubis located at the very end of the south runway. Anubis being the Egyptian god of death and funerals. Fake news has many different meanings to many different people. Fake news is the idea of news stories that are false, backed by a fake story, fabricated evidence, no sources or quotes. Anything that could prove that the news is verifiable and correct is mysteriously missing. However, many people take fake news as subjective instead of objective. Many times in politics, people will point out something that doesn't share their personal opinions as fake news. The Big Pharma conspiracy theory is a group of conspiracy theories that claim medical facilities, no matter how large, are operating for nefarious purposes against the public. The conspiracy states that these companies worsen diseases and illnesses for their own profit. Many people who believe in the Big Pharma conspiracy tend to believe that alternative remedies such as oils are much better and heal much more, despite almost all scientific signs pointing to the opposite. Atlantis is an island from Greek mythology mentioned by Plato around 360 BC. Plato spoke of an island located in the Atlantic beyond the Pillars of Hercules, filled with residents who were half god and half human. The island was protected by the god Poseidon, who made his son Atlas king and namesake of the island and the ocean surrounding it. The Atlanteans would grow powerful and their ethics would slowly decline. To punish their actions, the island was subjected to earthquakes and floods, which would eventually lead to the island sinking under the ocean, never to be seen again. Many people believe that Atlantis still exists, hoping one day we'll find the island submerged under the ocean. Nostradamus was a famous French astrologer born on December 14th, 1503. Nostradamus became famous for creating a series of prophecies which would result to be true. One of the prophecies that turned out to be true was the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Nostradamus wrote, "Within two cities there will be scourges the like of which was never seen." Many believe the description applies to what occurred in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, both devastated by atomic bombs at the end of the Second World War. The Fermi Paradox is the contradiction between the lack of evidence for extraterrestrial civilizations, yet high estimates for their probability. There are many points that highlight the contradiction, such as the point that there are billions of stars in the Milky Way, with high estimation of many Earth-like planets. Many of these stars and planets are older than the Sun. If humans are an average example of how intelligent life forms, many planets may have developed intelligent life long ago. Some may have developed interstellar travel, something humans are currently working on. Despite the relative slow speed of interstellar travel, the Milky Way could be traversed in a couple million years. Therefore, the Earth should have already been visited by aliens, yet there is no evidence of Earth being visited. Jeffrey Epstein was an American financier and a convicted sex offender. Apprehended on July 6, 2019, Epstein was placed at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Lower Manhattan. On July 23, 2019, Epstein was found unconscious in his jail cell with injuries around his neck. He believed that he was attacked by his cellmate at the time. However, the correctional staff believed that it was an attempted suicide. Epstein was placed on suicide watch directly after the incident, and 6 days later, he was removed from it. When Epstein was placed in the special housing unit, the jail told the Justice Department that he would have a cellmate and a guard that would look into his cell every 30 minutes. However, on the night of his death, these procedures were not followed. Epstein's cellmate was transferred out on August 9, 2019, and no one took his place. Later that night, Epstein was not checked every 30 minutes. The two guards fell asleep and didn't check on him for 3 hours. Along with this, the two cameras in front of his cell malfunctioned. The next morning, Epstein was found dead, his death believed to be a suicide. Many believe that these occurrences are too coincidental for Epstein's death to be ruled a suicide, and many believe that he was murdered in his own cell. MH370, also known as Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, was an international passenger flight. On March 8, 2014, while flying from Kuala Lumpur International Airport to Beijing Capital International Airport, Flight 370 disappeared. The crew of the aircraft communicated with air traffic control around 38 minutes after takeoff, when the flight was over the South China Sea. Minutes later, air traffic control would lose the flight on radar screens. However, military radar was able to track the flight for another hour. The flight deviated westwards, crossing the Malay Peninsula and Andaman Sea. All 227 passengers and 12 crew aboard were believed to be dead. A search was started for the flight, and after a 3-year search across a 120,000 square kilometer radius, the aircraft was never found. A second search started in January of 2018 also ended with no sign of the flight 6 months later. GMO conspiracy theories are related to the production and sale of genetically modified organisms, or GMOs. These include claims that agribusinesses, the agricultural conduct for commercial principles, are suppressing data showing that GMOs cause harm. They also claim that they cause food shortages to promote GMOs, and have co-opted government agencies such as the FDA. The Pizzagate conspiracy relates very heavily to the current QAnon theory. On October 30th, 2016, a Twitter account posting anti-Semitic material, which claimed it was run by a Jewish New York lawyer, claimed that the New York City Police Department had discovered a pedophilia ring linked to the members of the Democratic Party. WikiLeaks had published John Podosta's emails. Many who believed in the conspiracy read the emails and alleged they contained code words for pedophilia and human trafficking. Others claimed that Comet Ping Pong, a pizzeria in Washington, D.C., was a meeting ground for satanic ritual abuse. Many websites cited 4chan posts claiming to prove pedophilia. Subsequently, many pro-Trump websites started to spread the story, even claiming that the NYPD had raided Hillary Clinton's property. The journalist group known as the Conservative Daily Post ran a headline claiming the FBI had confirmed the conspiracy theory. The Mandela Effect is a phenomenon where many people remember something different from how it actually occurred. The Mandela Effect was named after Nelson Mandela, a South African anti-apartheid leader. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned in the 1980s, and many believe that he had died in prison. However, Mandela truly died in 2013. Many people, however, shared the belief that he did die in prison, and thus the name Mandela Effect was given to describe false memories. Many conspiracy theorists believe that the Mandela Effect is proof of alternate realities and universes. The vaccine conspiracy, or anti-vax conspiracy, is connected to the Big Pharma theory. Many people, idiots, claim that vaccines are truly bad for you. They believe that Big Pharma is trying to hurt them for their own personal gain. The theory actively denies the science behind vaccines and the hundreds of safety tests that go into making sure each vaccine is safe for use, which they are. UFOs, or unidentified flying objects, are exactly as the name states, objects that are seen hovering or moving through the sky that can't be explained. Many people believe that these UFOs are from extraterrestrials. Many point to December of 1948 in New Mexico. Witnesses reported seeing green balls of fire in the skies around Los Alamos and Sandia atomic weapons laboratories. Some witnesses stated that the fireball flew straight towards the plane, forcing the pilot to swerve. Many people explain these balls of fire to either be Soviet spy devices, nuclear fallout debris, or an alternate form of lightning. However, many believe these to be the creations of extraterrestrials. Ouija boards, also known as spirit boards or talking boards, are flat boards marked with the letters of the alphabet, the numbers 0 to 9, and the words yes or no. Sometimes the board is also marked with a hello and goodbye. The board uses a planchette as a movable indicator to send messages. Typically, Ouijas are used by a group of people. Each person will put their hand on the planchette and ask for a spirit of some kind. When the planchette moves, users may ask questions to the spirit, and the spirit will answer. Many religions, such as Christianity, prohibit the Ouija board, stating that it is satanic. MKUltra, more formally known as Project MKUltra, is the code name given to the program designed and undertaken by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency. The experiments included human test subjects in which they were intended to identify and develop drugs and procedures to be used in interrogations, in order to weaken the individuals and force confessions. The means of doing so would be forced through brainwashing and psychological torture. Techniques included the covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, and verbal and sexual abuse. Project MKUltra was brought to public attention in 1975 by the Church Committee of the United States Congress. The simulation theory, or simulation hypothesis, is the idea that all of reality, including the Earth, could just be a computer simulation. It is believed that everyone is living in a matrix-like world, and every person is just binary code. Nothing more, nothing less. The multiverse theory is the idea that there are multiple universes. These universes comprise everything that exists. Alternate universes, or also known as parallel universes, quantum universes, parallel dimensions, parallel worlds, parallel realities, quantum realities, or alternate realities, are believed to exist. Prominent physicists are divided about whether any other universes exist. Many believe that there are more universes, while others believe that our universe is the only one to ever exist. The multiverse theory is well known for being prominent in the Mandela Effect theory, as many people believe that parallel universes are what caused the Mandela Effect. Cryptozoology is the search and study for animals who have no substantial evidence for existing. These creatures mostly come from folklore such as the Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra, the Kraken, and many more. Many people believe that these creatures may exist in our world, yet no evidence points to them existing. Many writers have alleged that the Central Intelligence Agency had some sort of involvement in the Nicaraguan Contras cocaine trafficking during the 1980s. Many of these events occurred during the Nicaraguan Civil War. The alleged claims led to the investigations by the government, including hearings and reports by the United States House of Representatives, Senate Department of Justice, and the CIA's Office of the Inspector General. After the hearings and reports, the government concluded that the allegations were false. Many believe that the government is trying to hide their deeds and actually carried out these drug deals. Climate change denial is the dismissal or doubt that states that the scientific consensus on climate change, including the extent to which it is caused by humans. Many believe that climate change was created to extort the public into paying tax dollars to go to scientists so they would gain a profit. Many climate denialists have expressed their concerns, such as in Woodland, North Carolina. when two individuals said they feared that solar farms would draw too much energy from the sun. Reptilians are supposed humanoid figures who stand much taller than the average human. They can take on the shape and look of any human by using their shape-shifting abilities. These aliens are then able to gain political power and manipulate human societies. Many who believe in this conspiracy theory believe that the government is mostly made up of these humanoid aliens, trying to lead our society to its downfall. The New World Order conspiracy believes that there is a secret totalitarian world government that is slowly growing and will soon replace all governments. The conspiracy states that the New World Order is a power of elite leaders with a globalist agenda and is conspiring to eventually rule the world through authoritarian means. Many believe that propaganda already exists for the New World Order. The propaganda stating that the New World Order is the culmination of history and is what history was always leading to. Many historical people and current famous members of society are believed to be a part of the New World Order. The Flat Earth conspiracy is a fairly simple conspiracy. Many believe that the Earth, instead of being a globe, is actually a plane, with the North Pole serving as the one thing holding all the water and the land masses together. Once the North Pole melts, it is believed that all the water will rush off the planet and carry the land masses off with it, causing the end of the world. One of the most famous conspiracy theories states that some or all of the Apollo programs and moon landings were hoaxes staged by NASA, created with the aid of other organizations. The most famous claim is that the 6 crewed landings from 1969 to 1972 were faked. 12 Apollo astronauts never actually walked on the moon. Third-party evidence for the landings exists and proved that the landings actually occurred. However, many ignore the evidence. Area 51 is the most well-known American military base located in Nevada. Area 51 is known for being incredibly secretive and taking their secrecy very seriously. Many theories state that certain testing is being conducted in Area 51. One of the most notable theories states that the storage, examination, and reverse engineering of crashed extraterrestrial spacecrafts are being studied. Others state that meetings with extraterrestrials have also taken place there. Many claim to have seen UFOs above the base, furthering the idea that extraterrestrials reside in the military base. Many state that the development of exotic energy weapons are also being conducted here. Another states that some sort of time travel and teleportation technology is being created. Psychological operations, or Psyops, are operations to convey selected information and audiences, influence their emotions, reasoning, and their entire behavior. The purpose behind them is to induce behavior that is favorable towards the United States. Psyops are used in and outside of peace and conflict. Psyops can encourage discontent with the opposition's leadership, degrade one's morality, inflict fear, and cause major behavioral changes. There are many theories concerning the Stonehenges. Early theories believed that Merlin the Giant built a structure for him or that he magically transported the rocks from Ireland. Others believed that the devil was responsible for the Stonehenge. In 1655, John Webb argued that the Stonehenge was the site of an ancient Roman temple dedicated to Hylas. Others stated that the Danes created the Stonehenge. In 1640, John Aubrey declared the Stonehenge was the work of Druids, a member of the high-ranking class in ancient Celtic cultures. Many people have different explanations for the Stonehenge's existence, and there's a possibility that we may never know. And with that, that concludes part 1 of 5 of the Ultimate Conspiracy Iceberg. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I just want to thank you all so much for watching. It's insane how fast this channel is growing. At the time of writing the script, March 20th, each video in the Disturbing Games series has reached over 200 views, with the first one reaching over 300. And the feedback is just incredible to me. Thank you guys so much. If you're wondering where the final part is, don't worry. I'm still in the process of making the series. It's much harder to find these games, and the script is much longer than any other scripts that I'm working on, so it will take some time. Huge shout out to you/Cicada1205 for making this iceberg. And with that, I'll see you all next time.